will share with you a little bit of experience.
Yeah, if you have any questions.
Yeah. Later on.
Feel free.
My name is, as in the conference, my name is Muhammad Farid, and I'm originally from Somalia. I'm a teacher at Roseville High School at the moment, ESL teacher. I have been to Hamlin University from 1993 to 94. Up to now, it's my school in Minnesota. I took my teaching license here, as well as my master's and principal license. So I've been quite struggling with what you have struggling with. Before that, I came from Somalia, and originally I was, as a profession, I was a banker with money. I was the head of the Central Bank of Somalia at one time. And here we are, a big change, a big change. So normally I did a lot of presentations on Somali culture to schools, and even I taught here at Hamlin for quite a number of years, about 5 years, a course on culture in the summer. And I know, the questions. So what I have, discovered is, it doesn't make sense if I give you a lecture all the day about Somalia and politics and it's this and this. But the most important part is your questions. Your questions. I have, during my master's program, I was supposed to write the capstone, and I thought I should, bring something that might help the community that are working with the Somali. So my experience, my Somali experience in school, I decided to write about it. And another colleague who was ESL teacher from the mainstream also joined my program. So we wrote together. We discussed it a lot about, how he saw what I, was presenting, and how so we can. So this book is the result of that, and it became very useful for people who don't know about the Somali culture and the Islamic culture in general. So I hope you will have a look on this too. And my main information will be what's contained in this book, other than your questions. I would like, first of all, to pay your attention to give you some information of why this guy who was like Green Van, or now Mr. with the next one. Yeah. The name is a little difficult for me. Is back to teaching here in Minnesota. Why? What did that change? Life changes. Like switch. Now we have the swine flu. What it will bring, we don't know. We have war in Somalia. And not only war, but a civil war, which is the worst of the wars. And this forces us to flee to anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. So that you have peace. And, when that situation happens, then, the family decide to have priorities. What is the priority to take care of? So the priority was that the man should first of all take out of this war the kids and the wife. So the man either is part of the war or remains there to see if situations change. So that's what so there are priorities, survival priorities. And that happened in Somalia. and it's still going on up to today. This war, civil war, did not come, overnight, but it dragged on political issues. And this political issues goes back to the colonialization of Africa. Somalis speak the same language. Almost anyone can understand. There is one Somali here now. We understood each other immediately. So the language is one. We call ourselves Muslims too. I don't know whether we are Muslim or not, but we call ourselves Muslims too. We have the same religion, and I hope we are Muslims. Though we are doing things other than Islam is teaching us. We have, ethnically, have same features. So I can recognize, most of the time when I see a Somali other than somebody else from Africa. So there is a unique community in Somalia. But this unique community has took the toll of the colonization. They divided this community into 5 political areas. The British took 3 parts during that time. In the northern part of Somalia, some parts in Ethiopia, and some parts in Kenya. French took another small part which is called Djibouti. And the Italians took in the southern of Somalia. So this division brought problems. Then the era of independence, people rose to get free of the colonization, and they tried to build their nations in Africa. So Somalia was part of that. And 2 parts of these 5 areas came together in 1960 to form what we call now Somalia. And the first agenda of this government was to bring this community together, so that the part in Ethiopia, Kenya, and French can join this community, this nation, and become together. But that did not happen. First, they requested the Westerners who were occupying Italy, and especially the British, and the French. So they said, no, we are not going to solve this problem, you stay there. Then, at that time, there were 2 powers in the world, and the Russians and the Americans had some interest, some strategic interest on the area, and they had their influences over there. So the first Somali government, that was civilian government, elected government, when they couldn't solve the problem of this, unification of the community, the Russians came in. They said, we're going to solve with you this problem. We're going to build you a very strong army so that you defeat Ethiopia and Kenya and take over. And by force, you can unite together. So they came in when the negotiation and this peaceful means could not be the possibility of bringing this together. This other option came from the Russians. So the Russians, with their influence, came to Somalia. During the civilian rule, it was not so apparent, but there was a dictatorship that took over the Somali power, Somali government, in 1969, a military dictator. And this military dictator became a puppet for the Russians. He accepted anything. They came